USA judges and the fallout to society. I want to talk about this. This is becoming the norm. And we talk about, they post pictures of criminals. They need to start posting pictures of judges that are letting these criminals out. And when they get out, these criminals do worse things that is impacting America. Let's talk about it. But first, I want to start off with another really lame YouTube move. I noticed this yesterday. My viewers need to pay attention before they think I'm ignoring them, because YouTube has done another one of their changes without telling anybody. And it's this. So if I read the comments, okay, and I hit, if I can get out of the way here, if I hit the little page with the, lines on it, and I want to respond to it, this is what I get. If I want to reply to any of your comments, this is where it takes me. It is an arrow and it slides a dark screen over. I send a comment, it goes nowhere. Welcome to YouTube's corporate matrix BS. So I can no longer respond to the comments left because YouTube is doing something. Somebody also informed me that YouTube is going to probably be shutting down the live chats. That may be happening. I hope they don't. But if they do, they might be getting too many complaints. In fact, I guarantee you they are. And we need to talk about some things here. I cannot stand YouTube and their dumb, dorky things. This is what geeks in the corporate world do. Some geek came up with this idea. Before I click on, let's see if I can point to it. My nails need to be trimmed. They look longer than they do on the screen. Hit the little paragraph box, and normally it drops down and you can leave a comment. But I also noticed something. If, say, Shelly right there, and I want to respond to Shelly, it would drop down, show her ID, and then I could chat next to the ID. I notice a lot of people that are leaving rude, stupid comments, it doesn't bring their ID down. So when I make a comment, it's not connected with their name, but a line goes back to their name. See, YouTube is jacked. Let me make that clear. But when I hit a comment, respond, or reply now, it takes me to that. The black hole of YouTube. Captain, where are we headed? I don't know. It seems we've hit a void. But why? I was just trying to leave a comment. Fire up the intergalactic star thrusters and let's get out of here fast. YouTube is stoned. Their YouTube studio doesn't work at all. I want to talk about something. Stay with me, folks. That could be your grandma. That could be your mom. That old lady survived cancer 2 times. But she couldn't survive this. Could not survive this. That is a catch and release. She was minding her own business, and this guy came through attacking people and punched her so hard in the face it killed her. What a man, huh? And I'm going to say something. We've got a nation full of boys like this. clearly tell they don't have a solid, level-headed father figure. And he catch and release for crimes by these liberal, spineless judges. And they need to post a picture of the judge that let this clown out to punch an elderly woman for no reason. And we're going to talk about this because I noticed something's happening with my channel. Democrats do not like to hear the truth in this country. They go on and on about Trump and their TDS, and Trump is not perfect. I've been very vocal about some of his stuff. But the left is on 100% whack. This is not okay. You are a coward, boy, for what you did. You punch an elderly woman so hard she dies. She survived cancer twice, but a catch and release loser judge lets your sorry arse out to go and kill somebody? What the hell is going on in America? Where is the collective outcry? They posted his picture. Where's the judge that let him out? That could be your mother, folks. That could be your grandmother, your aunt, your sister. It is open season on people with values, Caucasians, conservatives, and Christians today in this country. Compliments, AKA of the Democrat left. And it's interesting. You can always tell when a pack of dogs, when you throw a stone into a pack of dogs, you can always tell which one is hit by the one that the loudest. And we see it going on with my channel. People butthurt over things I say, false accusations flying off the charts. That's to be expected. But let's go on. Let's talk about these wonderful catch and release. Poor woman can't even ride a damn train in Charleston, bus, train, whatever the heck it was. And wait, this one's rich. Let's talk about her. She's from the Ukraine. Remember the Democrats, they were pushing for us to get all involved and snuggle up to the Ukraine and defend them. And Biden and the Democrats are saying big bad Putin and Putin this, Putin that. Biden is lucky he didn't get us in a war the way he was running his mouth at Putin. Pretty stupid thing to do. But, let's group hug Ukraine. This woman came over here. She got off her shift at work. And a liberal African-American judge, female, let this clown out. Just another day on public transportation, and he killed her. And let's show you. Let's show this. This is crazy. A woman cannot ride the bus and mind her own business. And a guy's got this to her throat. And not one of those POSs on that bus did a thing. I want to know something. They did post her picture. They did post the picture of the woman judge that let this guy out again and again and again. And this is the same community that's screaming to get out a certain color vote. I had a woman come to my house. An African-American woman pulled up into my driveway. I said, hey, can I help you? I was out doing yard work. She asked if a certain person lived here. I said, no, her mail still comes, but she moved out years ago. I bought the house and I live here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just trying to get out the black vote. I wish I'd have been quick on my mental state. And I should have said, shouldn't you be encouraging everybody to get out and vote, not just one color? I have a black friend still to this day. She said, Mike, they're paying good money. I'm thinking about doing it part-time. If I go door to door, they'll pay me to knock on doors to get out the vote. I said, really? How much? And she told me. I said, could I get hired? She goes, no, they only want black people. They want us to get out the black vote. And I looked at her and said, did you hear what you just said? She goes, don't even go there, fool. I said, you know what I'm going to say? I love you, but you know what? That's racist. Can you imagine if white people were getting on a bullhorn saying, got to get out the white vote? We'd be called a racist. You damn straight, Skippy. This country's racist against us. Crazy. Crazy. And the beat goes on and on and on. How about this clown? How about this? This guy really is a problem. He killed his father. Why is he out of jail? Not that old. Wait, let's show a better picture of him. This is what he looked like on the street. Looks like a Dylan Klebold or an Eric Harris. In fact, he looks very similar to Dylan or Eric, one of those clowns that did Columbine. Do you know what this guy did? Let's show him in his jumpsuit. I wonder if they'll let him go again. He's only responsible for 640 homes burned up in smoke in Spokane, Washington. Isn't that nice? They should post a picture of that judge on every telephone pole in all those burned out neighborhoods all over Spokane and say, this is why your house burned to the ground. How come judges get voted in? Do you notice something? Let's get raw here. If I fook up at my job, I could get fired. But if a politician screws up or a judge screws up, they don't get terminated. Why not? The female judge who let this guy out should get the death penalty. The judge who let this cat out should get the death penalty. The judge that let this one out should be sued of any assets he or she has and brought to the city of Spokane for the fire victims, and then she or he should face the death penalty. Putting people in danger trying to put out those fires, endangering kids, wives, husbands, and homeowners. God forbid they were asleep in their house and burned up. Where is the outcry in the United States against these corrupt judges? They're guilty of bloodshed and vandalism and arson. They're a danger to the elderly. They're a danger to an ethnic woman from another country. They're a danger to Spokane people living in their world at peace. They're a danger to all of us. Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage? How about the judges in Chicago that let these people, illegals, come into South Side and start messing with the African Americans there? African Americans went to a town hall meeting and said, why are these people here? I still cannot believe that we have people in the USA that support the Democratic left. That party is of Satan. They are of Satan. They are a puppet of Lucifer. I don't care what the Democrats. I'm being falsely accused by a Democrat supporter now. It's ridiculous. That's all they do. They're the accuser of the brethren, just like Satan. The Democrat Party in America is evil. The Democrat belief system is responsible for 640 homes destroyed in Spokane. The life of a Ukraine woman, a punched and killed grandmother who survived cancer twice. Isn't it nice to know that in the U.S. you can survive all kinds of things, but you can't survive a catch and release criminal? Doesn't that make you feel safe? Land of the free, the home of the brave, and the judges are letting the worst of the worst out to destroy our security and our safety. Where's the outrage? They should turn that guy over to the citizens of Spokane that lost everything. Let them be the judge and jury and the executioners. If these clowns that are running loose knew that the public could get a hold of them and they lose their rights, that might be a deterrent. Why is our justice system so whacked? They don't protect you or me. We're paying our taxes. We're going to work. I'm going to talk about work in a minute. And I'm just gearing up. Listen to the turbo spooling in the background. Because I'm going to hit that pedal and I'm going to go, whoa, and jet across the plains. This country is against good people. At work, at church, all around today. We are seeing a societal collapse and breakdown. The only people that got privilege today are clowns, criminals, corrupt people, and good-looking gals. That's it. That's it. That's it. You want to score high on YouTube? Hi, guys. Hi. Hi. They don't have any content. They just be swinging breastises. I'm getting tired of this. This POS killed his dad. He should have been thrown in jail and the key tossed into the abyss. Now, he's responsible, and I'm gonna criticize the media. I am sick and tired of the media and their change speak ways. 600 structures. 600 structures. 600 structures. No, they were homes, you sons of biatches in the media, not structures. You depersonalize everything, you patronize everything, and you make it out to be less. What, 600 tough sheds? 600 he sheds or she sheds? No, there were 600 homes, you fools. They're not structures. I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of the news media sanitizing the bad stuff that their people do, that they're liberal, left-leaning clowns. The media is corrupt. The media in America needs to be shut down and held accountable for slander and libel every day and character assassination. And I don't like people that lie about me. People that lie about me, you don't have to agree with me, but don't lie. You'll stand before God about that. You will give an account to God for lying and character assassination. So keep doing it. You're digging your own hole with God. This is ridiculous behind me. This is totally preventable. That guy should have gone to death row for killing his father. He never should have been able to see the outside world again. And did you know that in jail, they got their tablets and they can mess with people's account from jail? Did you know that? Wouldn't it be nice to go to jail, folks? You go to jail, you got a weight room, you got a swimming pool, you got the internet, you can do online dating, you can have a pretty white woman with money waiting to marry you and take you home. Then jail, great. Yeah, I've got any health issues, I can get all that taken care of in there. Shoot, maybe I ought to go to jail. Get some things fixed. What happened to the old stone jail with the bars and a stone bench, no cushion, and bread and water? What happened to that? Lucy, you got some explaining to do. What kind of jail is this, Lucy? They might as well throw a couch and a flat screen TV in there and a big old bowl full of rice checks, and you can watch the football game with your peeps. It's ridiculous. Our justice system is a clown show led by liberal judges. Let's roll that beautiful bean footage. Judges that don't believe in the death penalty. Judges who believe in giving people a chance. What about her? What the hell did she do wrong? She got off her shift and she rode a bus and she was killed for it. That ain't right. By the way, just as an FYI and an aside, was there any outcry? Was there any outcry from this community right here? Was there any outcry from this community about her demise? Did any of them take to the streets and do a peaceful protest? Was there any protest about Irenia's death by this community? Wait, let me try this here. I still can't hear anything. Nothing? No protests? No marches? No holding up signs? Well, you're kidding me. But I thought this community, they got signs all over the neighborhood that says BLM. Is that a new car? Like BMW? Maybe I misunderstood the sign. It said BLM. But wait. But this life didn't matter. This life didn't matter at all. What did she do? Not a damn thing. She got off her shift. This life didn't matter. Was there an outcry? Was there an outcry from this community? Was there an outcry from this community about somebody's grandmother being punched in the face by that? I didn't hear a thing. Do you see where we're at in this country? If Michael is the only one who talks about this and brings it to a deeper logical conclusion, there's something wrong. Because I've been accused of being mental and having mental problems, and I'm messed up. I'm wearing girl clothes. I got lipstick on. Here, let's put a brighter color on. This is too muted. Let's put that beautiful red luscious stuff on. You know, I love to talk about this. I don't over post it. I am not a woman, so I'm still not good at this. Oh wait, let's do this because everybody thinks there's something wrong with me when I do this. Isn't that beautiful? I wish I could be kissed by a beautiful woman. I haven't had that in so long I forgot what it's like. People come on my channel and say, you have issues, you have problems, there's something wrong with you. I do have something wrong with me. I'm sick and tired of leaders that don't do anything. I'm sick and tired of working for corporate America that doesn't care. I'm sick and tired of a world that makes fun of, trivializes, patronizes. I was at work yesterday. I worked my ass off. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of looking at this clown behind me. I'd rather look at my tartan blanket quasi curtain. Do you know why I wear women's clothes and do what I do? Because society doesn't care anymore. I try to have fun. I try to have simple fun. Some people think, are you a freak? I don't know. It depends on what you mean by freak. I like women. Is that freaky? So let me ask a question. Let me tell you what I go through at work. So the guy in the wood shop, he'd be really nice. He said he's got an IQ of 210. The other day, he took the forklift, went down the aisle in my department and lifted up one of the roller tables. I said, what are you doing with that? Because it was a kit table, and when we get pulls for orders, there's boxes on this table that I got to pull from. Well, that's just disappeared, so I just asked him. He wouldn't answer. I said, so you're not going to answer me? It's my table. I can do what I want with it. I said, I wasn't asking that. I'm just asking what you do. What happened to all the stuff that was on it? That was the kit table. No, it wasn't. I said, you want to make a bet, Scott? I said, it says right here on the kit table, and that was the kit table. So where's all that stuff? Where did you put it so I know where to go? He didn't answer me. And I said to him, I said, are we being a girl today? Now we're going to play ignore? I tell you what. And I said it. I said, you're being a little bitch today. You can't even answer a question. Why are you like that? He lives with his mom in a trailer. Smells like cat piss and BO. And these are the people that are making rude comments to me. Let's go on. My supervisor had a complaint that I don't know what, we got so many orders, and I'm going like this all day. And I look at the ticket, I count things twice, 30 small brackets. I counted them twice, put them in there. He said, we got a memo. You need to be careful. You put in 31. I said, I did. I said, I counted that twice. Do you know which order that was? It doesn't say. And it does bother me because I try very hard to do my job right. So later that day, I was told, I need you to make up 108 8x5 boxes. Okay. I double timed it. I said, I got all the boxes done. You what? I said, I got 100. Whoa. What'd you make those for? I said, you told me to get them for the heaters. And this is what he said. Aren't we just going to use the boxes they're in? I said, you didn't tell me that. Well, we did it the last time. I said, you told me to make up 100 boxes. I did it. He goes, well, you might as well box up those heaters. You can use their box or you can transfer them to those. I said, no, I'm going to waste our boxes. I'll use those. We had to put the sticker on them, put the sticker on the box, put them back in the box. There was 99, not 100. He goes, and the receiver said, I checked in 100. I said, well, one's missing. We did a double count. We didn't even put them. I said, they're going to stay in that cart. We're not putting them in the box until we got all 100. He came and handed me a different one that was not made in Taiwan, one of the originals. Supervisor said, we can't use that. They'll notice a difference and they'll wonder why. So he said, get those packed up. I said, well, can we get another one? He makes a snide remark in front of everybody. He says, man, Mike, if I hear that one more time, blah, 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 blah. And I joked. I said, shut up, and called him by name. I said, I don't want to make mistakes, and I want to make sure we get that in there, or somebody's going to say I shorted them. And he defensively says, you know, Mike, if I didn't like you, I wouldn't razz you like that. And I almost turned around and said, well, you know what? I'd rather you just be a professional. You know, I come in here and you think you're so cool. You wouldn't get this stuff done if I wasn't here. And I didn't say it. I work at a place that hires people that just got out of jail. And I'm not against that. But I told the guy, I said, you know what? I feel like I'm on parole in here. This is prison work, what I'm doing. Prisoners can do this. This is a no-brain job. You just got to pay attention. I'm 60 years old. And then we had a preacher come in. I'm sorry to say what I'm saying. Very skinny, much skinnier than me. I asked him a question a few weeks ago. Something biblical. Something kind of deep. And all he said was, well, that's not really my focus. Man, I didn't ask if it was your focus. I asked you a biblical question. He brushed it off. He came in there yesterday and he said, God's been good to me. I retired at 51. I'm like, what did he do for a living? Is anybody listening to me getting mad that you go to work every day, you do a good job, and you're treated like cat box turds? And you can complain. You can go to HR, you can go to a boss and say, I don't appreciate it. It ain't going to do any good. It's just like these damn judges. It's like Resident Evil is installed everywhere. They can't be fired. They can't be voted out. They're everywhere. And I had a discussion with Planet G this morning. And she said, do you notice something, Michael? It's getting worse. She's in Northern Ireland. It's getting worse at work, at church, on the streets. What bothers me is I have one question. We could turn this ship around in America. But we won't do it. Americans are too individualistic. We all should show up at work, and all of us, and say we need and are worthy of a raise. You guys are making millions and millions of dollars. And I don't believe in socialism, but hear me out, conservatives. I do not believe in runaway, unethical, greedy capitalism either. How much does Mark Zuckerberg be entitled to? How much does Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk? And I'm going to tell y'all something. Before you think Elon Musk is your friend, be very, very, very careful. He's deemed a trillionaire. People with that kind of money are not your friends. What does the Bible say about justice? God takes his stand in his own congregation. He judges in the midst of the rulers. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Hello! Psalm 82, 1 through 2. Look it up, read it, and weep. Show partiality to the wicked. Show partiality to the wicked. Show partiality to the wicked. That went out and acted the same way they went in. Because they know now, that ain't going to do anything to me. I'll set 800 homes on fire. This guy is a real tool in the shed. He got off of that train. He said, I got that white girl. Bragged about it. What a man. What a man. What a man. And this guy, what an even better man. I punched a white elderly lady in the face, resulting in her death. These judges should not be protected. Why do these judges have more protection than I do, or these people did? Why do these judges have more protection, got their guns and weapons and security cameras in their gated neighborhoods? This woman survived cancer twice. Only be taken out by a complete non-productive citizen of this American culture. Whoever's championing the rights of prisoners needs to stop. You don't get a tablet. You don't get access to the internet. And you shouldn't have the best food and the best health care. That's bullcrap. I got to pay for health care, and it's big deductibles and everything. And my employer brags that they pay this much. And we still don't got anything. All it is risk insurance. If I get ran over by a truck, I still got to pay 20%. What is that? One of the owners made sure we got a new break room, and it's nice. They added a new bathroom. They had free ice cream one day. Anything but give us a raise. I mean, the break room's nice. I'm glad we got 2 toilets instead of 1. But I need a raise to pay my bills. You come in your air-conditioned alley and you come into an air-conditioned office and you're not doing what we're doing. You're the owner. I get it. I swear the modern day work world treats us like slaves. Just saying. Making snide remarks. When the owner says, I came in and I said, we need 2 of me. I got so much to do. Oh, no. The arrogance and the condescension rising to a crescendo. Oh my God, I couldn't take 2 of you. I wish I had power. I wish I had money. I wish I was in a position to say, well, guess what? That comment hurts. I can't take 1 of you. You have a good day. Find somebody else to do this shitty job. Bah! And walk out that door. We're trapped. Business owners know that. We're wage slaves. And then you got to worry about this. I thought justices. I'm so tired of that. People saying justice for this, justice for that. There ain't no justice in this country. When a Hollywood celeb dies, oh, it's so sad. The news goes on and on about the loss of a Hollywood celeb. The media just speed bumps over that. Ta-da! The media didn't even want to report this. Why was the media so silent and reluctant? Because she was from the Ukraine, and that same media was, Ukraine! Who are we going to root for? Ukraine! Well, now that you're a citizen in this country, welcome to America. Please enjoy our complimentary bus ride with this. Have fun! Have fun! Have fun. Freedom ain't free, and you're in danger because of judges, because of Democrats, because of liberals. That's why. Let's call it the way it is. This is not an opinion. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. Let's read it one more time. How long will you judge unjustly and show partiality to the wicked? Vindicate the weak and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and destitute. Rescue the weak and needy. Deliver them out of the hand of the wicked. Psalm 82 ends with verse 8. Arise, O God, judge the earth. For it is thou who dost possess all the nations. Guess what, judgy poos? You're gonna stand before the judge. And it ain't gonna be a GTO. It's gonna be God. And you are going to be in dire consequences because based on what I'm seeing these judges are doing, pretty positive, pretty confident they're going to hell. Because if you know Jesus Christ, you don't let that back out on the streets to kill a woman. You don't let this guy who's been arrested again and again and again out to punch an elderly woman in the face. And that's what I want to underscore about that specific, those two people. Not only is there a level of criminal element within that community, but they think that they're the definition of grown men. And I grew up in my limited world that you don't punch a woman and you don't punch an elderly woman and you don't knife a girl on the bus. But that culture is totally freaking okay with it. And there's not one outcry from their culture about how wrong that is and how pervasive it is. One woman wrote me yesterday, well, hinting, well, I don't think that people should riot. I wasn't saying that. I wasn't saying people should riot. I simply said that there wasn't any protest peaceful. There wasn't any riot. Where were the people that stood up for her? No demonstrations. But if this clown had been killed by a white person, how many more flat screen TVs can be walked off out of a business and plate glass windows broken and cars flipped and mayhem in the streets? I'm talking about a reality. I've been accused of being racist. I'm not. I'm telling the facts. The facts are self-evident. You can watch the evening news every day and you can find it. It's all there every day. How about this? I thought certain lives mattered. Look at that quality girlfriend. Look at that quality girlfriend. Look at the guy with his pants down, his blue bloomers hanging out. What a man. What a man. All three of them are black. This is in Atlanta yesterday. That black car door's open. The guy that drove that car is on the ground. That guy in the white t-shirt who's dating that girl pistol whipped him in the head. Damage and probably created brain damage. The black car driver was his sin. Apparently there was a road rage incident. They exchanged words. And the guy in the black car drove off. And he was getting close to his home and saw this guy was following him right on his bumper and he stopped. And that guy with the white t-shirt got out of the passenger side of that girl's car. She was driving it. She's the one following him. And they're looking for him. Just another day in wonderful, diverse Atlanta. Isn't that a fun place to go? I'm sorry. I'm tired of this stuff. It goes on and on and on and on and on. And if they shut my channel down because I tell the truth, guess what? I'm still going to tell the truth. The big corporations, the social medias, they don't follow American law or biblical law. They are a law unto themselves. And this is how you control a society, is telling people what they can and cannot say. And you stigmatize people by calling them a racist when they're not being racist. They're talking about pattern recognition. Number one, I don't know why that woman's dating a guy with his bloomers hanging out. Those two people right there, because I live here, those two would make fun of me. I've had it happen. Not even before I was wearing this stuff. Walking into the flea market, a whole family turned around and sneered, and all chubby, overweight kids turned around going, when I have my mullet. I wanted to turn around and say, wow, parents, you did a good job raising your kids. My mother told me not to do that. And she was messed up. But you can walk around with your damn pants down, your butt cheeks hanging out, and you're going to stand over a grown man that you pistol whipped because you got butthurt over something that happened in traffic and you couldn't let it go. And what a quality woman there on the right. I'm sorry, I see that all day, every day. I see favoritism going on. I see racism dished out by them. They're not even nice to their own people. The stats are against them. They kill their own people. They pistol whip their own people. They shoot them. They tear them up. And then they walk around with their BLM signs. Oh, did you get a new car? Is it a new BLM? Oh, no, that ain't a car. The black guy I work with at work said to me 2 weeks ago the following statement: I don't support the Black Lives Matter movement. Mike, I'm a black guy, and even I admit our people are killing our own people, so black lives don't matter even amongst ourselves. I said, I'm glad that you said it. He goes, it's the damn truth. So somebody calling me racist, that's out of his own mouth. Give me a break. Racism is not defined by speaking the truth. Racism is defined by, I hate you because you are this ethnicity. Talking about their misdeeds and their constant. Go on the news today. I challenge everybody, go dig around in YouTube. Go look. You will see more of this every day, every day, every day. It never ends. Where's the rest of the black community protesting that poor driver pistol whipped? They don't care. But if the guy in the white t-shirt had been a white guy in Atlanta pistol whipping a black man, whoop, baby, we would have had fire, burn, baby, burn, disco inferno, free TVs, smash the stores, everybody gonna pay. I'm telling the truth. Pattern recognition, this happens every time. Change the ethnicity of the person involved committing the crime, and then everything changes. But when Mr. Pants Down does it, nobody cares. That's got to change in this country. But it's not. The devil's on the throne. The devil hasn't even been cast down to earth yet, and he is tearing up our world. My channel, me telling the truth, bears it out on a daily level. The women and men on my channel said, man, Satan's after you big time because you tell the truth. A whole room full of people watched a false accusation yesterday. They're like, wow, these people are amazing. Generation of people defending garbage, vile, foul music. That alone is proof you're not intellectual. Proof you're part of the circle drain culture. That you don't have an ounce of discernment, class. Real men and real ladies. Let me say it one more time. Real men and real ladies do not listen to booga, bucka, 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 MF, MF, FF, NIGGER. They don't listen to that. Real men and real ladies do not listen to that stuff. You can twist and writhe and throw things at me all day long. It's the damn truth, Skippy. Music is a reflection of your disturbed soul. You listen to that? You don't know God. You don't know peace. That music is not peace. It's violent. It has an undercurrent to it of oppressiveness. Get mad at me all you want. There's the darn truth. Disturbed souls listen to disturbed music. That's called send yourself to prison music. Very demoralizing when I come on a woman's YouTube or channel and she's playing that. It's not music, but that nails on a chalkboard, evil, foul stuff. I go past that. You want to date and mate a woman like that? You want to marry a woman listening to that? You are going to have problems in a relationship. Women, you want to date a man listening to that disturbed stuff? People make fun of my dressing and my clothes. And the ones that are doing it have got tattoos from head to toe and they got gauges and piercings everywhere. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What I do can come off. Then just change the article of clothing and lipstick comes off. It's amazing. This culture scares me. Has no moral compass. And if you think I'm alone in what I believe, there are millions of Americans and Brits and Irish and Scotch and Aussies and Canadians that agree with me. Who agrees with you, liberals? Those that follow Satan. That's who. And I'm going to say something that's going to really cause some people to writhe and twist and turn and vomit and everything else. The Democratic Party does not walk in the Holy Spirit. Somebody said, well, the Republicans. We're not talking about the Republicans. I don't defend the Republicans. The Democratic Party does not walk in the Holy Spirit. Let me demonstrate that, okay? If I can find it. Dooba-dabba, dooba-dabba, scooby-doo. Whatever happened to that? Scooby-dooby-doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Hey, Scooby, we need help. We got a mystery we need you to solve. Why is evil on the throne? Why are judges letting these clowns out? I want to read to you a list of what the Democratic Party supports from Scripture. Now, this is talking about us as people. This is talking about something called the flesh. When we become a Christian, we're made aware that we have flesh. Flesh is this. It's the package of meat. It's that that's that inner man. That when you get saved, that inner man has been crucified with Christ. But it fights. We struggle with flesh. Yes, Christians sin. Yes, Christians make trips into the pig pen. But if you are led by the Spirit, you are not under the law. Did you hear that? So if you're not saved, you're under the law. You know why? Because you're saying you don't need Christ to save you. You don't need a provisional sacrifice. Let me get this straight to you, non-Christians. You will be judged by the law of God because you rejected the Messiah. Okay? And God's going to go right down that law and say, guilty, 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 guilty. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. If you're in Christ, the devil will accuse us. Michael's a racist. Michael this, Michael that, Michael this. Jesus stands up and said, he's in my blood, Father. The accuser of the brethren. His disciples and his followers falsely accuse Christians. And his followers are people on earth. Okay? Now, the deeds of the flesh are evident. Now, we've been guilty of some of this, Christians, but listen to the description. Which party condones the following things? The deeds of the flesh are evident, which are immorality, impurity, sensuality. I've got that. I'm very sensual, but hold on, let's keep going. Idolatry, sorcery. By the way, that word sorcery, we get the Greek word pharmakia, drug usage, enmity, strife, jealousy, outbursts of anger, disputes, dissensions, factions, envyings, drunkenness, carousings, and things like these, of which I forewarn you, just as I have forewarned you, that those who practice such things shall not inherit the kingdom of God. What does it mean to practice? They live in it without a shred of guilt. Listening to bad, garbage, foul music is proof of who your Father is. If you enjoy and like booga bucka 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 MFNIGGBITCA, you are of your father the devil. Call me racist one more time. I just read it. And the Democrats love cheating and affairs and drunkenness and legalize marijuana and do this and do that. It's a free-for-all. Legalize gay marriage. Legalize murdering children. Tell me one more time that the Democrat Party is good for people. And those liars and cheaters and clowns that are greedy capitalist pigs are telling you that socialism and communism is good for you. You see, the Democrats encourage this right here. The Democrats are the reason for this. The Democrats are the reason for this. The Democrats are the reason for this. And what happens with liberal judges that let them out? This woman is dead now. One thing I've noticed in that community of people is they define man in a way that's not consistent with this at all. Punching an elderly woman in the face to the point of killing her. Men don't do that. Satanically possessed individuals do. Do you notice these judges are letting demons run loose in the streets that happen to have a human body? This is bullcrap. You cannot rehabilitate that. You're punching out an old woman who did nothing to you and killing her? And our system of justice is a joke to the world. They need to do with these criminals exactly what they've done. Get a guy 3 times his size. Have him stand a foot away from a concrete wall. And let that guy cock his arm and just go, bam, brrr, and drop him. If that group of people knew that the justice was going to be immediate when they do these kinds of crimes, it might cause them to go, yo, man, I want to die. But we coddle them and we let them out. And you know why this happened? Because 2020 happened. You know what? You know what game show was created in 2020? Let's play How Not to Be a Racist. That's right. Listing criminal statistics is racism. We have a higher than proportion certain ethnicity in jail. That's because of racism. And the Democrats are doing everything they can to pretend they're not racist. Might I remind everybody involved, you don't know your history, young peeps. The Democrats fought against letting the slaves go. Let that sink in. The Democrats simply regrouped in the 1960s. All this hatred of black people was stemmed by them. They were the ones that supported the plantations. The Republican Party, black men joined the Republican Party because it was against slavery. The Democrats didn't like that. They created the KKK, the clue. See, this is something the Democrats don't have. They don't have a clue. They just have a KLU. Klux Klan. They created it for the express purpose of fighting against the Republican Party. Then it became the insane racial hate group. Remember Strom Thurmond? Guy was in politics, so he's like 100 years old. Racist as all get out. He was part of that. I got news for the black community. It's not Republicans that created all the racial hostility to you. Not at all. It was Christian white men and men that feared God that said this slavery needs to come to an end. So in your angst against us, remember that some of us, not me, because I wasn't alive then, but whites also brought you deliverance. That's lost in the public schools. But let's go to class one more time and talk about Rosa Parks. They made a hero out of her. Is she a hero? I've done Rosa Parks in my own way. Do I get to be taught in the public schools? No, I don't. Because I'm not the narrative, that's why. Rosa Parks was not a hero. She's a black woman that had enough, and she stood up like any of us will do. That's not a special skill. All of us can be pushed to the point where we finally say, I've had enough. No, I'm not sitting back there. She did right. But why are we making a hero out of her? She'd had enough. Why didn't anybody else before her do it? Because they're scared. But guess what's happening today? Watch the sleight of hand. Christians, conservatives, and whites are scared. And the reason my channel's growing is not because I'm sexy, not because I'm girly sometimes. It's because of the content that I talk about. I don't have OnlyFans. No one's going to pay to see me take it off. I'm not privileged enough for that. People come to this channel and I'll let them quote. I will not blow my bugle. because it's embarrassing. Let them speak. Read the comments. You're authentic. You tell the truth when others won't. There are people who say you speak more truth than any pastor I've ever heard in my life. That's sad. I didn't go to Bible college. I didn't go to cemetery. If the Holy Spirit gets a hold of you, you can be wiser than all your enemies. But let's read something. Envyings, drunkenness, carousings. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such thing, there is no law. So when you're in Christ, you have the Holy Spirit. We're not under the law. So for all you want to talk about my clothing, I'm not under the law. Now, does that mean I could go run and commit adultery? No. I mean, I can make a choice to do that, but God's not going to be pleased with that. But watch this. I just read the fruit of the Spirit. Is that a picture of the fruit of the Spirit? How about this? Is that a picture of the fruit of the Spirit? Let's go down the list. He'd probably wear the Bob Marley shirt that says every little thing's going to be all right. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. He exhibited all those on that train ride that day, didn't he? How about this guy? How about this guy? This guy definitely had the fruit of the Spirit. Killed his father, got released. Set over 600 houses on fire. Let me say this one more time to the media. I'm getting sick and tired of you clowns calling them structures. Do you see what our media is doing? They're not calling them homes. Because the media wants all of us to lose everything. We will own nothing and be happy. The media is behind that. Did you know that the United Nations is against individual property ownership? Did you know that the United Nations is against the rights of parents to educate their kids as they see fit? Did you know the UN is against people having the right to firearms? Guess what? The UN has more control over American thought today than ever before. Let me be president. If I won, two things I'm going to do immediately. Term limits will be started today. That's one. Congress and the House, Senate will not be able to vote themselves a raise at all. And the UN, get your building, get your group, and get off our property. Leave. Those are imperative. Illegals that are caught and kill somebody, immediate death penalty. No trial, no rights. You broke the law. We're not going to listen to this BS anymore. Drop them like it's hot. I'm tired of this MAGA. This country is riddled with crime every day. To those of you driving out there, if you're following a car and you're mad, and you've been following him for miles, you need to go get professional help. Letting an isolated traffic altercation consume you to doing what that woman and that guy did is not okay. And there are whites that are guilty of that, and Hispanics, and Asians. It's amazing how fast people lose their over a car thing. I get mad too. People cut me off. Honk, go bump. and get out of it. Following people, he should have never stopped. The poor black guy in the black car should have just circled back and went to the damn police station. I guarantee you, those two cats would have pulled off real quick. Do not follow somebody. Do not. That woman should be charged. She was driving the car. She was following him. Mr. Pants Down was a passenger. I guess she didn't hear the song Scrubs. Don't date no scrubs. Hanging on the passenger side with his pants down. Yo, keep following, girl. Okay, baby cheeks. Stupid, 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 stupid. Don't date a woman like that, boys. Stop riding passenger at her ride. And for the love of God, pull up your damn pants. Say no to crack and pull up your pants. This is Atlanta. You see the hedges? That's a nice neighborhood. That guy was going to a nice neighborhood. That's a black man who did well to get possibly brain damage by an absolute problem child. And people excuse this behavior. I was on an online forum years ago. No, Facebook. In fact, here in Augusta, and I posted on the dang Disgusta page, these guys with their pants sagged, that needs to stop. Oh my gosh. Yo, you racist, man. That's part of our culture. With your butt cheeks hanging out as part of your culture? That's a lie. It's called prison rape my butt culture. You walking around like that, that's an advertisement. Diner is open. We've heard of In-N-Out Burger. Hot dog in bun is the new diner here. I'm telling you, folks, it's scary what's going on in our world. This society calling us racist, behaving like that, walking around with 6 inches of his bloomers hanging out, does not have a right to come to the table and do a critical analysis on my race, or anything for that matter. Have I made myself clear? I do a lot of things here, but you're not going to see my butt cheeks. I got too much dignity for that. One of the guys I work with does not wear underwear, and he bends over, and that much of the butt is showing. No no drawers. Who wears jeans with no underoos? I don't even want to go there. I've been judged by this race over and over and over again. And people who call me racist will never, ever, ever call a black person a racist. Why is that? Why? Because people believe they're not guilty of it, that they can't be guilty of it. Jasmine Crockett was voted out of office, I believe. I think that was awesome. They need to get rid of Maxine Waters. She's a mess. And it should be illegal to campaign slogan and say, get out the black vote. That should be shut down on a state and federal level. Because if whites would have campaign signs getting out the white vote, you know how that community would react. They call it racism. Why is it okay for them to favor and champion their race and we're not allowed to do it at all? Why can they walk into work with their I'm black shirts? I am Black history. No, you're not. Boy, you got a big opinion of yourself. You ain't Black history. I ain't white history. Get over yourself. Black queen, black king. I have never to date seen a white person wearing a white queen or a white king shirt. Ever. A Hispanic male used to come to the rec center in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, tattooed across his chest, I thank God I'm brown. That's a reach across the aisle tattoo, ain't it? What if I put, I thank God I'm white, and I walked into a public sauna or steam? How do you think people are going to react to that? You put that on your body. People like that are keeping the racism going. I don't wear a shirt. White and proud. They do. Transportation. How come transportation said avoid the offensive? They can wear offensive shirts that are hell and racist as hell, and that's okay. Let me walk into transportation white and proud. I am proud of my Anglo roots. We don't do that. But look at this guy. Pants down, standing over, being a big old macho after he pistol whipped this guy standing over him. That's not a fair fight, by the way. Look at that quality woman running up after him to get some in there. I'm sick and tired of this. I'm going to close this video with this. There's a lot of people in this country that don't belong here because they make it uncivilized. A civilized nation is not supposed to allow a man to punch a woman that age. Say whatever you want about her, but look at her. She's no damn threat to anybody. That's somebody's mom. That's somebody's grandma. Not one protest from the left about abuse of elderly women. I thought the Democrats favored women, not if it's a white one. One of my fans came into the room the other day. He lives in Wisconsin. He said a candidate is running on Democrat ticket that said that white elderly are all racist. That should be automatic grounds for jail. And you cannot run for office making a statement like that. And you say that in Wisconsin. See, the Democrats don't get fired. They don't get in trouble for saying crappy things like that. I did a 3-minute video talking about a poor white woman assaulted, not by one, but by 6 big African Americans. Several of them were women. And if you look at their face, they weren't sweeties. They weren't no butter muffin cups. They were brutal. It's a wonder she didn't get killed. And I said in the video, not one black person stood up and said that was wrong. If it had been a black woman coming out of a jazz festival, assaulted by 6 white guys and several white girls, I would have said the same damn thing I said in the video. I would have used the same descriptives. This is savage. These people don't belong in a civilized country. When I worked at transportation, several coworkers that were black were on my Facebook. They post stuff all the time talking about the injustice to their people. I'd post stuff where a black person did this, just news clips. Not one black would respond. Not one, and say, that's terrible. Read the comments of the people I worked with at transportation. HR and the superintendent says you're supposed to avoid the offensive. They get on Facebook and out loud complain about Richmond County. They're never calling the office. We're living in a world where they're trying to destroy us. Anybody who has brains, if you're white, if you're conservative, if you're Christian, it sucks to be us. But what about when you go to your Christian workplace? We had a preacher in there on Wednesday. They do a little Union Gospel Rescue Mission type of thing. They know that because of the wages they pay, people will come and sit in there to get that free lunch. And it's not the greatest food, it's junk food. Bojangles, Chick-fil-A, it's crap. And they'll come in there and they use the preaching of the word, which is, I'm not against that. That's not part of work and you're not required to go. And you clock out. So they can't get in trouble. Because you clock out, you go to the office, that's your choice. At least our workplace does that. But they skimp on the wages. And boy, I got to hear when I make a mistake. By the way, as an aside, I came to the time clock one day, one of the owners goes like this. I poked my head in the door. I said, I'll tell you what, you give me a generous raise, I'll cut my hair. Well, I was just saying, I know what you're saying. You don't approve of my hairstyle. If you want me to be your slave, then pay me. Then I'll wear the clothes and do the hair. I'm sick of our society. A lot of Christians are very childish and immature and have not grown beyond a certain level. I am not a danger or a threat to society, but the truth is. John the Baptist was not a threat to society, but the truth was. It bothered, it rattled the wife of Herod, who was an illegitimate wife. He took his brother's wife. He pulled a Joseph Smith, took another man's wife and said, yo, you're mine. He was the king. He could do whatever he wanted. And that Jezebel didn't like that. Somebody got mad at me for calling some of the Democrat women Jezebel. I will not recant that. A Jezebel is a rebellious, anti-God woman. Read about Jezebel in the Bible, and most of your Democrat women embody all that. There was a place in Denver on the west side called Jezebel's. A lot of the feminist white women like to go in there. It was a nightclub for feminist women that want to get drunk and hate on men. Great place. Go to Jezebel's. I'm not going to retract that. Have you heard what the Democrats say about me, my race, my God, my values? Have you heard them? You're silent about that because you don't care. It's always a one-way street with the liberals. You a racist. What about you? They don't want to hear the truth. Listen to these people on their channel. Every other word's the B word. Every other word's the F word. Every other word. Wow, okay. All right then. I don't have to do anything but be who I am. And the powers of hell are going to come at me full force. My channel is diversity. There's women from around the world on here. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. You know what makes the difference with women? That they're a Christian. But now, I've talked about me going to a Southern church down here. Christianity is a walk. You get saved, but then you have to mature. Like a snake skin, you got to shed the old skin and get new. I do, you do, everybody. We're supposed to start shedding that fleshly stuff. Have I done it in entirety? No. But if you can't even treat people right, I got women on my channel, they struggle with things, but they are saved. And for the first time in all the years of my 60 years of living, I got women on my channel saying, we got your back. I've never had that anywhere. Not in my family of women, not in a church. And that is the way it's supposed to be. I didn't make that happen. I didn't force that. I didn't even bring it up. And you got the devil out there with his false accusers. And their channel ain't growing. It's descending into what's going on in somebody's personal life has now become global. Use your YouTube channel to do better. America's drowning in middle school BS with a lot of women. You may not agree with me, but false accusations, that's what Satan does. You want to apologize and you want to do things right, then we can start anew. You got people that want to have a continuous war with me. I don't. I didn't declare war. You did. And there are some wars, like with Andrew, I will confront that over and again. That guy is a disturbed predator. Some of this other stuff that's going on right now, it's ridiculously immature. And they want to drag my channel into their little dirty box of gotta have drama and controversy. I don't want no part of that. You don't like me, move on. Because to keep on going, you are harassing. Drop it, grow up, move the F on, to use your language. I'm not gonna come and harass you. Leave me alone. You don't agree with me? Everybody on the channel knows that. But when you make comments calling me a racist, everybody on the channel knows, and they've been going to yours and looking, and they're going, this woman is evil. Said by women around the globe. Evil. I don't need to say a word. My own subscribers are. And you posted, go over to his channel. You'll see it for yourself. See what? That I speak the truth? You want to make a case for racism? I've dated Puerto Rican women. I've dated black women. I lived in Hong Kong, China. Racist people don't do that. Hello. You shot yourself in your own foot on that one. There's black men and women that come to this channel, but you don't pay attention to that. There's Hispanic women. There's Native American women on this channel. They're not calling me racist. Just you. But it all goes back. You're either a believer or you're not. And you can think that you are. Then you're defending your right to listen to me. You're right. You can listen to whatever you want. But I said it and I nailed it. And I think there's some deeper issues as to why you suddenly hating on me. You don't like what I say because you're convicted, because you don't know this and you don't know the God of this. I don't think I'm perfect. I'm not talking about that. But you showed the entire room who your master is. Keep going. Keep on. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in dealing with this stuff. I'm interested in defending an old lady. I'm interested in bringing an America back that says you are not getting released for your crimes. We need to hold these judges accountable, and it's not happening. This woman is dead because of a liberal judge. This woman is dead because of a liberal judge. +600 homes have been burned to the ground because of a liberal judge. And they have immunity. Their face isn't posted out there for us to see. We only get to see him. Every judge that catches and releases should have their picture in the post office and on the evening news. And we need to change the provision. You may have gotten voted in, but we can fire you. We're not doing a vote. You let this guy out, 600+ homes went to ashes, you're going to jail. And we'll let the people who lost their homes be your jury. Boom! We'll let all the relatives of this poor woman be your jury. We'll let all the family and the boyfriend and the relatives of this woman be your jury. That's justice. Justice delayed is not justice denied. You liberal judges will stand before the Almighty God, and you live your gated lives, and you live with your big salaries, and you don't care about all the people that suffered. You have no conviction, no shred of guilt. And you know why? Because you don't know God. If you got a problem with my channel, it's because you have a problem. Let me say that one more time and listen up, everybody. If you have a problem with my channel, it's because you are the problem in America. No, I don't think I'm perfect. I've never come off that way. I struggle with sin. I struggle with temptation. Hell, I was even attracted to you. Unbelievable. You need to get right with God, girl. You need to get right with God. Now you got a fixation with me. I'm going to tell the truth. And if you don't like it, don't listen. Now you're telling everybody to come over here. And then you send your disciples over. What are you trying to tell me? You're guilty. You call me a racist. Then you want to come back 3 days later. I have moved on. You want to keep it on the fire? Okay, let's keep it on the fire. I can cook 4 pots on the stove at once too. You're stupid. Get right with Jesus. You don't like my views. They come from this. You weaponized a word. You're convicted. You're convicted. You did a video the other day going about the music. Man, I wasn't even talking to you. You can always tell when you throw a rock in the air which dog I did. Oh boy, I didn't know I got somebody that she claims we were friends. We were. But you did the traitor move. You didn't come and talk to me about it. You got on your channel and you started doing what. I didn't even know this was going on until Mimi come over. I don't know Mimi's motive. She hadn't done anything to me. She was commenting in the chat. I didn't see any red flags. You came after you ran your mouth about me. Oh, Block Mimi, she's one of those trolls. You didn't want her coming in because you figured I wouldn't hear you on your channel. I got you now. You like this one? You got me now? Man, this is childish, girl. I thought you were beautiful. I thought you were sexy. I liked your dancing. I even did a side-by-side with you. I got to go find it and delete it now. That's crazy. I didn't change one thing. You did. Calling my viewers and me racist. Don't you think YouTube would have taken this down? Because they do. Pattern recognition, honey, is not racism. Talking about the behavior of certain groups of people, that you got issues with some girls. And now you spilled it over onto me. The difference is, God is using me. I'm not so sure that he's doing that with you. I don't see it. I don't see the fruit of the Spirit. I don't see the love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. I don't see it. So go back and listen to that awful stuff. Go back and get back on your channel and cuss and fuss about Swiss and everybody else. I mean, you have the potential to become a powerful channel. You're beautiful. Get off of that crap. I do commentary. You don't like my style, you determine that something changed because you don't like my convictions. That's cool. But don't character assassinate me. I liked you. Now you're dogging me. Stop. Stop desecrating your own self with this middle school drama with Swiss, Shannon, Mimi, whoever it is. Rise above. It'd really be nice if you and I could have peace. You don't have to agree with me, but can we have peace? You said on your channel that you tried to reach me. You did not send me an invite to Discord. I don't even know your Discord. You never gave it to me. And my viewers watched that and told me. A woman, one of my moderators, her adult daughter in another country watched your video and said, wow, I've seen Mike enough. This woman's just lying about him. Mike said, here's my Discord. No friend requests from any. Not one. If you send me one, I'll even screenshot it and post the damn thing in the room and show where I accepted it. You lie. Don't lie. That's child stuff. We're adults. I liked you. You disappoint me because you're falsely accusing. Honey, I believe what I believe, and I've been that way I didn't change. Now it's becoming clear. And this young woman and her mother both said, you are contradicting yourself every time you start talking about me. They're seeing it. I don't waste my time watching all that. I got messages. I got this. Now YouTube's being stupid. I can't even comment or reply to you guys that leave comments on my channel. YouTube has lost their minds. I got to go to work and deal with bullcrap. I got to come to my channel and deal with bullcrap. And then YouTube. They're little corporate geeks up there going, watch this. Let's fook it up some more. He'll go to reply to a comment, they get a blank screen. Dumb. Yes, I rebooted my phone and did all that. I got weightier things to talk about. Anyways, this is stupid. Your channel's not doing well. It's not going to do well. You hide your face. I said you're pretty. Show yourself. Now somebody said you're wearing wigs. I don't know because I haven't looked. Now you show yourself and you're in the dark, like you're in the witness protection program. I'm like, what are you doing? You got confidence to falsely accuse me, but then in your videos, you hide. I tried to encourage you to come out, to do well. I stood with you against your trolls. You did not tell me your Discord. I put mine out there over and over. I did it on your channel live one day. Go back and research. No friend request. You even said, I want to talk. We need to talk. I said, here's my Discord. Yeah, we'll do that. Still no friend request. Discord doesn't lie. All right, I'm done with that. You and I are on different pathways. Okay? That's obvious. But to everybody else, if you don't get a reply to my comment, I can only heart and like. YouTube's doing something. They're changing something. And there was a rumor going around by somebody that YouTube will probably dismiss the lives. Well, to be honest with you, I could see a lot of problems solved with that. Even in my chat last night and every other day. You're not paying attention to me. You didn't even respond to my comment. Man, I have my back turned and the chat's going like this. You are being unreasonable. You cannot look at the screen and figure it out. When you type a comment, you see it go up, up, bye, up, bye. Next person, and you're jumping on me, and you know I'm pacing my kitchen. We got some grown women on my channel acting like children. We're adults, man. And when you keep that up, it makes me want to say, how about if we shut down the chat and just do it this style? Because there's a whole lot more people that come to view my videos when I am raw, turboed, unfiltered, without the interruption of chat, than when chat is on. Chat is on, my views go, you. Chat is off, my views go, whoop. And people, I'm glad you turn off the chat. I love it when you're unleashed. So if YouTube throws the lives away, it might be a good thing. I don't got time to babysit everybody's feelings. I am one of the few people on YouTube that engages as best as I can as a human with my fan club. Go to the YouTube channels of all these pretty women on here. No interaction with any of the people chatting in the room. Zero. How many of you come to my chat and said the following things? You're the only sane channel. You're the only one that talks to us. You're the only one this. But then you get butthurt because I didn't see your comment when the chat's going 90 miles an hour. Man, that's immature. And a little rebuking is in order. Some of the ladies need to get a little more understanding and thicker skin on this chat thing. The viciousness of our times. I'd have a new company called Damn Good Granola. DGG. Not Dulce and Gucci. Or whatever that company's called. Maybe I should wear a dress with a big old DG belt right here. Wouldn't that be a cool pinup? Not. I don't support BLM or any of these movements. I support TM. Truth matters. And I find as I get older that less preachers and less conservatives and less people are talking truth. And I should not be surprised at the attack and the hatred and the trolling and the doxing and the false accusations because I tell the truth. You know how stupid I am? I try to forgive. I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. I don't have malice. If that certain woman would drop the hatchet and we had peace, I'd still take her to dinner. You got mad over absolutely nothing. This could have been solved. You sent a friend request, told me what happened. That person, whoever left that comment, I don't even know who. But then I hear what you're saying in your channel through others. You know I'm not racist. You've been telling me for a while, I don't agree with you. Don't call Democrat women Jezebels. And then it becomes more narrowed because you're giving yourself away. You don't like my stance on today's generation of music. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's foul. Yes, I use cussing, and I want to get away from it. But music that glorifies the F word, the B word, the N word, how are you going to become a lady taking that in? Angel, I tried to encourage you. I was even told don't mention you, but I'm going to mention you this once. You're a beautiful woman. Don't make yourself ugly. Your channel could grow. Your channel could surpass mine. Stop doing yourself the way you're doing yourself. I believed in you. I'm disappointed. All you had to do was come to me, talk about it. I deleted the whole video. So that comment's gone too, wherever that is. You didn't see that there was 30,000 views on that video. Do you have 30,000 views when you're going on about Swiss? I don't think they're there. I talk about controversial and current event issues. Have you said anything on your channel about these poor people losing their houses in Spokane? Have you said anything about this poor woman being killed riding a bus? Do you even talk about those issues that matter? I do, because that's my heart, and I expect you to be like me. But you're fixated and going on and sending people over here to investigate my channel. There's nothing to investigate. I tell the truth. Femyaz did that. And you reported my channel. You know, Femyaz hates my guts. And he has said awful things. He supported the assassination of Charlie. YouTube hasn't taken his channel down at all. He's a rage baiter. One of my moderators is friends with a guy that I used to look up to. He now calls himself a rage baiter. I don't have anything to do with him. I don't support rage baiting YouTube artists. I do not. We got a lot of evil out there, and it's getting worse. I don't want to fight with you, Angel. And now you want to grow your channel and create drama with me. I'm not interested in that. Nothing you say is making me think that I was wrong because I don't believe I was. You don't agree with me. You don't agree with my views. I get that. So, you got two choices. Make peace. We make peace like grown people. Agree to disagree. I didn't do you wrong. You're a grown woman. You know that I'm approachable. You know he could have came to me and said, hey, Mike, there was a comment. You didn't give me a chance to defend, excuse, accuse, deny, or justify anything. Don't I have a right to a fair trial? But instead, you went on your channel and blasted me. Then one of your friends, ex-friends, Mimi, showed up to tell me. I'm like, what? And I told her, give me the soundbite, show me the proof, the timestamp. 2 days went by, nothing. But okay, this is girl BS again. Then she posted it on her channel. I'm like, oh, so Angel did say these things. That's really crappy because I'm not racist. You didn't even hear me talk about a Puerto Rican woman at my job. Called me over a month ago who's been the victim of racism at the hands of an African-American woman. And you didn't hear me that I said, you need to call this guy, you need to send him a copy of that audio, and he will do something about it. And he is. If I didn't tell her that, this would have fallen dead on the water. That employee is still working there. But there were meetings the other day with the person I told her to go to, and he confronted this. And one of those things that's been confronted is, you fired Michael for saying something on YouTube, and he was not being racist. He gave a public opinion on a news event far from the school district. And if you let this woman call a Puerto Rican woman a burrito and make death threats to her on company property, on company buildings, where everybody heard it, we got audio, you got some splaining to do, transportation. Yeah. Angel, I defended her and I rose up to say, she's my friend. If I'd have been in that room and I heard this, whoa, 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 whoa. That's racist, what you just said about her. I know her. She's my friend. I'm not like other people. I don't suddenly go, oh, I would have said, whoa, lady, you're out of line. And I'm going up and I'm going to report you now. Anybody hear that? Anybody going to challenge that? No, I'm not racist. Not at all. Why don't you just admit you don't like my stance on things? That's more accurate. But you know, racism is stigmatizing. It's a weaponized word, so you use it. You haven't given me any facts as to why I'm wrong. None. We don't have the same platform. And I liked yours. You came to me. I didn't even know you. You came to me. I reached across the aisle and I liked your dancing videos. I even did one with you. I thought you're beautiful. I'm man enough to admit I would have loved to hug and given you a big old kiss and gone on a date with you. My gosh. And no, I'm not still trying. I realize it'd never work. You're going one direction, I'm going another. But if you want to have peace, 77 Titanic 77, you and me need to have a chat. Not through the videos here. That's my last flag, okay? That's it. Ball's in your court. 77 Titanic 77. Send me. And you and I are not going to do this texting. We're going to go voice to voice. Or face to face. Whatever. And we're going to talk. I'll shut up and listen. You shut up and listen. And we're going to deal with this. So I'm putting this out here. I was told this morning, don't even mention her, by my moderators. And I listen to my moderators. But I'm stubborn Irish. And I feel like this is the high road to take in front of everybody. I don't have your Discord. And if you really want to have a discussion, this is my peace offering. 77 Titanic 77. I'll be waiting. Regarding all these other issues, to my fans and friends and flirts and whatever, this guy would not have lit those fires if he'd been sitting in the prison where he belongs. Spokane homes would not be burning. By the way, that fire is still not contained. That is terrible. I lived in Spokane. And what's really sad about people in Washington is they vote bright blue. And they'll keep doing it. They'll say how terrible Trump is. To the residents of Spokane in Washington, as you watch your real estate go up in smoke, just remember that had nothing to do with Donald Trump or one single conservative Christian or Republican. It had to do with a liberal, Democrat, left-leaning judge. There's your proof. If you want society to change, stop voting for the Democrats. Get them out of office. Send them packing. And to the Republicans, you need more passion in your party. Stop voting in turtles. Stop voting in lunch lady arm men politicians that have been in there too long. I don't want to be in politics, but you better have somebody who speaks with passion like me in that party. You need people like me to stand up to the ridiculousness of AOC, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar. I'm not afraid of those women. I would stand up in a dress on the House floor and tell them, you're so wrong, it's not even funny. With lipstick, blush, and eyeliner on. I'm confident in what I believe. I don't have to wear a suit and tie, but that's the game that these liars and cheaters and corrupt people vote in. Is AOC talking about this woman? Is AOC talking about this woman? Nope, she's silent. Is Rashida Tlaib talking about this woman? Remember, all the Democrats said we got to help the Ukraine. Does Jasmine Crockett, does she care about the poor people of Spokane that lost their homes? No, they don't give a shit. You need somebody in the Republican Party that tells it like me. I don't want to be in politics. They'll drag my mud all over the place. They're evil. Democrats love to point out our flaws, but they ignore all of their sins. The devil has a stranglehold on Washington. And people don't like it when I say that. People say, I like your channel, but I wish you'd stop this Bible thumping. Sorry. I don't know how you can be a conservative and not see the hand of Satan and all this demonstrative liberal left crazy behavior. If you don't believe there's a God, at least believe there's a devil, because the devil is working overtime through the brains of people who went to college and wear a suit and tie, and he's got this country by the short hairs because America puts a precedence and a preference off college suit and tie professionals. Not me. And that's why you're getting what you deserve. John the Baptist wore camel's hair. He was not a fashion statement, and yet Herod, we're talking upper royalty here, wanted to hear what he had to say. It's not the clothing, folks. It's a message. Herod's wife did not like John's statement. I'm going to say it one more time. Let me say it again, Mr. Nelson, my supervisor of transportation. Let me say it one more time, Mr. Nelson. People have a problem with my channel are the problem in America. I'm that confident. Do I have problems? Do I have issues? Abso-freaking-lutely. I'm dysfunctional as they come. But I'm highly functionally dysfunctional. I'm not Kate Jenner. I'm not Gavin Newsom. I could do a better job running California than Newsom could. The guy's a loser. He's a dictator. Man, I heard the circus was ending years ago. I see there's all these damn clowns out there. Somebody hire these clowns, but keep them out of politics. Don't give them leadership positions. Even in my workplace, you put people in charge. They got more faults than I do. Stop doing that. We got companies right here in Augusta that do shift rotation, and they get these managers in that cause people that want to quit because they got their own agendas and they don't like people and their favoritism. You can't even go to your damn job anymore. Work is hard enough. You can't even go to your job, and you got to navigate landmines in the workplace. Pissy employees. People that are too cheap on the wages. And then they're making fun of you because you're different. And you want to say, F you, buddy. I do more work than anybody you've had in this position. And I told somebody the other day, I don't even want to work at the pack table anymore. They're throwing so much on me that mistakes are going to be made. And the one guy said, but who's going to do your job? I said, nobody. Yeah, that's why they want you there. Well, then pay me what I'm worth. And stop saying I'm so different. It's because I'm different I'm doing this shitty job. Because I've got the tenacity as a man to say, buck up, buttercup, and do what you got to do. But I think it sucks that for what I get paid, my channel's more important to me than my damn job. Because I get something out of it. All I get is a paycheck, and it's weak. My job is important, don't get me wrong. Don't misunderstand that. You think I like going to work, busting my butt? Chrysler said, he said, act your wage. He said, it's not worth it for you to bust your butt when they're not going to give you anything. And I found out something. I was lied to. They gave me a 98-cent an hour raise after 3 months of working there. And they said it's because you work hard and the boss are happy with you. And they tell us don't discuss your wages with anybody, and I didn't. Several people volunteered to me what they were making. I said, wait a minute, you came out of the temp agency and they bumped you up the same? Yeah. So they didn't give me a special treatment for my hard work. We're all making the same down there. The slackers too. Interesting. So you can work hard and, everybody gets an achievement award, a participation trophy. Isn't that silly? Isn't that ridiculous? We're in a problem country and a problem times. And guess what? There's going to be some Christians that give an account to God for this behavior too. You guys can be rich and drive new trucks. The president can walk in with his baby and his wife. Now, I am not saying anything rude here. I'm just stating a fact. The wife is pretty. She had on a sweater. Don't know why people are wearing a sweater in the summer. I'm going to describe the sweater as best as I can. I do. I wish I could just wake up one morning and say, you know what? We're going to sell. We're going to move. We're going to pull the plug on all this. Thin straps all the way down to here. Well endowed. You know where it looks like reverse butt cheeks? Breasts are so big it looks like a pair of buns. Good view of the boots. I was polite to her. I said, well, cute baby. And the baby was looking at me going, I said, look, he laughing. And even the president said, I noticed that. He seems to like you. They got nice homes. They're not doing this kind of a house. They buy those big giant houses they sell down here in the South. They got the tall roof lines and the faux brick. They're not English Tudor. I don't know what they call them, but they're fake all the way through. They don't have character. And they all got Teslas and new cars and new trucks. And yesterday we had our weekly safety meeting. I want to do a shout out. The president wanted to shout out Mike, said he works literally 1 minute to quitting time every day. They said he drives himself all day to get as much done as he can. They shouted out another black guy saying he's a light to the company. I went up to him and I said, you know, I agree with that. And he looked at me and says, Mike, I don't care about these shout outs. I want this. I said, I'm with you. But what they said is true. And he goes, but that's just it, Mike. They want to say, good job, good job. But we can't get a kickback for it. And then the boss, one of the owners said, they had people in the shop doing the grounds mowing, which is a lot of mowing, a lot of property. He said, if you guys know of any, lawn service, let me know. I feel like saying, you want us to let you know. Why? This is your baby. Now you want to hire a lawn service to do it, which is going to charge you way more. I said, oh, you don't want the shop doing it? He goes, no, the shop says they're shorthand, and I need a guy to work back there and not be riding the lawnmower. I thought, you are going to pay more for the lawn service than you paid one employee to do it all. But we still can't get a raise. I didn't say that. You want to remodel the warehouses and have office. He said it. This is management. They always want to pull away from us. They want their throne. They want their door. They want their desk. He told me to my face. I said, what, you don't like this office, this tiny little office where we're barging in every day? He goes, no, I don't, Mike. I want my own office where I can shut the door and people do not come in unless they're invited. Yep. Keep us peons out there. Get up on your castle wall. You guys stay in the countryside. Don't come up here. We're seeing something take place in the United States that the original Americans left England for. Serfs. The kingdom of serfdom. S-E-R-F. Not Papa Smurfs, not surfboard. Serfs. Peasants. Peons. Michael, you did a great job. Can I have a raise? Now, Michael, no. We're paying what is fair and equitable. Kimberly Clark pays more. Did you know that Buc-ee's, that gas station, starts at $18 an hour? Did you know that a site manager makes $210,000 a year? We're busting our asses for you to be millionaires, and we can't get it up. And our health insurance? My health insurance and transportation, because it was through the state, was better. I don't get any freebies. When I have Blue Shield, Blue Cross, my preventative care doctor's visits, free. I don't even get that. The company I'm with now, the healthcare is a joke. They're just taking money. That's all they're doing. All it is catastrophe insurance. If I had cancer, I'm going to just let it ravish me and take me, because 80-20, cancer is what? 300,000-400,000 for chemo? So you survive, you've been out of work for that long, and now you got to pay this big bill God, if I get cancer, let's just end it. Let's go home. This country is corrupt, and it is led by corrupt leaders, and it's led by corrupt judges. And as if though that wasn't enough, you can't just live your life. You can't live gracefully as an old woman. You got to get punched in the face by a fucking clown. Pardon my French, a loser who should have been rotting in a prison system. This guy. I can tell by looking at those eyes and that face that there ain't going to be choir stuff coming out of it. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these people in this country talking about us, saying what they do and acting. Listen to the music they're listening to. Look at the way they act out there. Look at the way they drive. These are not good people, folks. You go ahead and call me racist. I'm not. That guy killed this girl. And not one person from their community gave a shit. YouTube takes my channel down, I'll still thunder this message out. God will give me another platform if that's his will. And if he doesn't, praise his name. Praise his name. I'm not going to be bullied by social media or people calling me this or that. I'm tired of it. Caucasian people have been backed into a corner and they're quiet as mice. That crap needs to stop. The reason this stuff is triumphing in America is because we're not doing anything. What can we do? I don't know. I don't believe in riots. I don't believe in vandalism. But I don't know. One thing we could do to employers that would change this country real fast. You want these gas prices to come down? Boycott every gas station for a week. Truckers included. Stop the trucks, pull in the rest area, shut it down. Can't get your shit at the store. Nobody goes to work. You tell your boss, you give us a raise, we'll all come back as a group. If you don't, we leave as a group. How long you guys want to play this game? Let's see the managers get the products packed, shipped, sanded, cleaned, primed. Go for it. You can't. We could change everything in this country if we had unity. And that's what makes my channel great, is there's unity with men and women who have faith in God and are tired of these things. That's why my channel stands with me against these false accusations and people. I didn't make that happen. It's just happening. I would never walk out of my job, because if I did, they'd fire me. Even though I do this kind of work, their egos, we live in an ego-driven employer today. You offend the person in that chair, even if it hurts them, they'll fire you because you offended their ego. Christians are supposed to be different. Christians are supposed to stop being greedy materialists. They need to pay us fair. Why is it Christians are reluctant to bless their brothers and sisters? But watch this. They'll throw a big wad of money in the collection plate at the church they go to. $30,000, $40,000 for some church thing they want to build. That ain't right. And God is going to judge that. These guys that I work for are going to give an account to God for that. They're rich. And you can go on and on about capitalism, socialism, communism. Christians are not supposed to be chomping on us. And they do. And it's getting worse. The love of money is a problem among born-again believers. Gotta go. 138 likes, not bad. Anybody wants to donate? Because I'm a po' boy working hard. Pacific Ocean Asia. All one word. Pacific Ocean Asia 77. Cash App. Appreciate it. I have 14,000 subs. Can you imagine if half of those gave me $1 today? That'd be $7 grand. I'm not a preacher and I'm not playing preacher games. $7 grand is more than 3 months of pay. If people, literally just the masses, gave a tiny minuscule amount each, I could leave my job. I could hit the road and start meeting some of y'all and do lives. And it's sad. People will throw money at everything but the truth. Their Starbucks, their dogs, their SUV, their lift kit. Men will go stupid over a girl and spend goo-gobs of money for a relationship that ain't going to last. They'll throw money at these false preachers like Osteen, Paul White, Joyce Myers. They'll throw money at the Democrats or Republicans. Now, there's a waste. They're in my inbox. J.D. Vance, we need you to defend the party. Can you donate? No! You don't, no, I'm not donating to the Republicans or the Democrats. Why should I spend my working money that y'all tax and give to your party? No. Bull crap. Against this backdrop, I'm supposed to have hope. I ought to go to my job with lipstick on one day and just watch. Mike, what are you doing? What do you mean? Why do you got lipstick on? I thought I'd do an experiment. Is that a violation of company rules? It does not say in the employee handbook, thou shalt not wear lipstick. Put on some blush, some eyeliner. When we get a raise, I'll stop wearing this stuff. Then they fire me. How much you want to bet? I should do it, but I'm not going to jeopardize my damn paycheck, even though it could be better. I love you guys. Have a good day. Be safe. Pray for me. I need it. I'm under full-scale nuclear attack by the devil. And my job, it's a discipline. It's a necessary evil for us men, but I'm not happy with it. And I really wish that I could just fly, Robin, fly. But for now, I'm bound by time and circumstance and the almighty hand of God. And until God releases me, I have to submit to this foolishness. Y'all have a good day and be safe.